Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Napoleon, and today we're back with another Enlisted video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the new Chinese Event Squad, and this is actually going to be for the Americans, which is surprising to absolutely no one. This is the new 22nd Division, 66th Infantry Regiment, and it comes with the brand new event weapon being the Liu rifle. This is a very interesting weapon, and without further ado, this video has been made possible for the friends at Discord. If you haven't liked, subscribe, or joined the Discord, I highly suggest that you do. But that said, let's get started. Starting with the history. The new 1st Army, which consists of the new 22nd, the new 30th, and the new 38th Divisions, was one of the top 5 elite units of the Nationalist Army. After retreating to India from Burma during the Burma campaign, it received American training and most importantly American weapons. Initially led by Chou Qing-chuan, it later was commanded by Sun Li-ren's during the Burma campaign. During the Chinese Civil War, fast forwarding a few years after World War II, the new 1st Army fought the communist forces in northeastern China, achieving early successes. Notice how I say early. However, after a change in command with the KMT leadership and essentially a weakened army after that point, it suffered horrific losses and was essentially destroyed in 1948 in the Battle of Jingzhou. Due to its complex history, it remained largely unrecognized on both sides of the aisle, unless you're one of those historians. That said, let's move on to the rifle. The General Liu rifle was China's first semi-automatic rifle, designed by General Liu, literally. It features a gas trap system similar to the Bang rifle and could switch between gas operation and a bolt-action rifle, which is actually pretty interesting. It was made in 1914 with, Pat and Whitney to modernize the Hanyang arsenal. 2 rifle prototypes were tested in 1916, revealing issues with, Chinese-made springs. Additional tests were conducted in Springfield Armory in 1918, and then after that, General Liu suffered a stroke in 1919, which led him to, die, and the ship carrying the machinery also sunk, so that did not help the entire situation. Restoration was only stored in 1921. The rifles were essentially then sent back to Hanyang in 1935 to produce the Type 24 Chiang Kai-shek rifles, which is the Chinese copy of the Kar-98K. That said, let's move on to stats. In terms of stats, the Liu rifle is chambered in 7.92. It has a hit power of 15.3, meaning that if you shoot someone, they're most likely gonna die. And in terms of shooting, we have a muzzle velocity of 750, rate of fire of 250, meaning it's pretty dang fast for a semi-automatic rifle. Reloads time of 3.2 seconds, which could be tricky. Shot deviation of 21, vertical of 69, horizontal of 37, and a 6-round magazine similar to the Armaguerra. That said, this is where we get to a tricky situation. For most people who don't know, the stats on this is slightly misleading considering the fact that the accuracy is much worse in-game, in the sense that I've seen people use this at point-blank range and still miss shots because of the dispersion, meaning what you literally have to do to use this weapon is literally stay still as humanly possible, because you might not even hit the target. That said, let's move on to the verdict. This is one of those most unique squads that we might get, and as a matter of fact, we might even be getting an entire Chinese tech tree. The gun is pretty good, especially at its tier. However, once again, the accuracy is misleading, meaning that you literally have to aim and you essentially literally have to, be accurate with it, which is kind of easier said than done. So you literally cannot move and do your best. This is a rifleman squad, meaning that you can do some crazy things and give them some crazy stuff. For example, you can run around with grenade pouches and essentially start yeeting grenades at your enemies, which is not a bad idea. Or, my personal favorite, is that you can bring a secondary weapon and bring a grenade launcher, which is probably the most overpowered thing that you can do, and I do. This squad comes with an anti-tank gunner and an engineer, meaning you can both take out enemy tanks, enemy infantry, and the engineer can build AA guns and whatnot. This is a very overpowered squad if you do know what you're doing, and I'm gonna explain now what you should be doing, and that is to use the squad to both attack and defend. It is important that you do not rush points, especially if you're attacking, because what you really want to do with this squad is to go slow, because this is not meant for, taking large enemies at a time, even if you do have a grenade launcher. What you really have to do is to park your squad at a special place and have, your guys go in one at a time. And this is exactly the same if you're defending. If you are defending, park your guys in a safe spot, defend one at a time. Hopefully what ends up happening, and in the most ideal circumstance, all 9 of your soldiers will die one at a time while you take out as many enemies as you can. So that's great. Overall, this is a great squad, especially for slow and steady gameplay, and overall it's not a bad squad. I actually kind of enjoyed this, especially with the new cosmetics and camos and whatnot. So without further ado, this is all it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.